Are you an IELTS speaking student feeling anxious and confused about how to speak fluently in the IELTS test? Well, today we're diving into a topic that many of you want solutions for: overcoming the fear of speaking in the IELTS speaking test. I'm going to explain how you can transform your speaking skills from nervous to fearless with some simple step-by-step advice and techniques. So, if you want the answers to this common problem, then this episode is definitely for you. Welcome to the IELTS Speaking Fix, the podcast that gets the worried IELTS speaking student ready to enter their university abroad. I'm your host, Dom, and I am an IELTS teacher and expert who has been helping IELTS speaking students succeed in their test over many years. And by the end of today's episode, you will have the perfect, straightforward steps that you can start using immediately to improve your speaking fluency. Before we dive into strategies, let's understand why the IELTS speaking test can be so intimidating. It's normal to feel nervous about speaking in a non-native language under exam conditions. But the fear often stems from a few common concerns. First, the fear of making mistakes. So, this involves worrying about grammar, worrying about pronunciation, and being overconscious of vocabulary errors. 2, lacking in confidence, a lack of confidence. So, doubting your ability to speak fluently and coherently, which, as you know, is important in the IELTS speaking test. And the third point is the pressure to perform. Now, the high stakes of achieving a good band score to secure your place in that university abroad you desire so much, this is huge. So, this is why it means so much to you. Acknowledging these fears is the first step in overcoming them. And we're going to go through the crucial steps to help you do this. Now, let's talk about how to build your confidence. There's some practical tips coming up right now. First one, might seem obvious, but practice regularly. Set aside at least 30 minutes to an hour daily to practice speaking English. You can use resources like interactive conversation, practice videos, question and answer books, which is popular, or even you can record yourself. Develop structured responses. Having a structure to your response can help you feel more in control. So break your answers down into specific parts. This will help you feel in control of what you are saying or about to say. In a moment, I will let you know about a free speaking course that includes a really simple but effective answer structure you can use. Third point about building your confidence is you should try, if possible, to simulate test conditions. Now, you can practice with mock tests and time yourself. Familiarizing yourself with the test format can significantly reduce your anxiety. Finding the good resources to do that can sometimes be difficult, but if you keep following us, you will find out where there's plenty of these available. If you want to use interactive resources, this is great, but just practicing under test conditions itself, this can really help you get used to what's ahead. Now, next point we want to talk about is fluency. And fluency really is the key to scoring high in the IELTS speaking test. Some effective strategies to boost your fluency include expanding your vocabulary. Now, there is a little bit of a point I make at the end about this because it's so important. Now, learning new words and phrases often is useful for expanding your vocabulary, but you must use them in sentences to get comfortable with their usage. To do this, I recommend learning and using the new vocabulary in context. Many of my students, they use question and answer practice materials to do this in context. But remember, learning too much new vocabulary in a short time, this really won't help you. It will just confuse you and can actually slow down your fluency. Using the vocabulary you are familiar with and comfortable using, this will be much more progressive towards your actual fluency. Too much vocabulary will just spin your brain out. Next, I want to talk about practicing. Practice with a purpose. So when you focus on specific skills like describing, narrating, or expressing opinions, this is what I mean by practicing with a purpose. A great tool to utilize this is to use IELTS practice questions to give more of a guidance to your practice sessions. Making them a daily exercise as part of your preparation is crucial to gaining fluency. Another way to improve your fluency is to use connectors and fillers. Connectors and fillers are words like well, you know, and actually. And these, although they seem very common and basic words, they can actually give you a moment to think and make your speech more fluid. But remember, don't overuse them because repetition will go against you in the IELTS speaking test. And the final point I want to talk about today regarding fluency, storytelling techniques. So this is so useful, having a good storytelling technique. Using these kind of techniques, such as setting the scene, introducing characters and describing events, they make your answers far more engaging and they make you able to speak in a more fluent style. Now, this is definitely something that can help you when you're speaking in the Part 2 section of the IELTS speaking test. As you know, you have to answer long-form questions and they usually involve talking about the past. So storytelling techniques, this is a really great way of improving your fluency and getting you ready for the test. If you're preparing for your IELTS speaking test, I invite you to check out my free online course, The Easy Way to Answer Any IELTS Speaking Part 1 Questions Without Struggle. This easy-to-follow step-by-step breakthrough course equips you with everything you need to start your speaking test confidently and fluently. The best part? You'll start to see progress in as little as 30 minutes per day. Take the first step to your IELTS speaking success and download this free course today using the link in the episode description. Now I want to move on to a really common frustration, and that is the difficulty in developing ideas quickly. Now, here's a couple of points how you can tackle this issue. First one is mind mapping. You may have heard this before, but mind mapping is a way of organizing your thoughts on common IELTS topics, for example, and it's simple and easy to do. It's putting your thoughts in a logical order, and it's really important that you try implement this kind of technique before you go ahead and speak. Now, sometimes in instantaneous speaking questions, this is difficult to do, but when you give yourself a few moments to put your thoughts in order, this is what we call mind mapping. It's a great way to get yourself ready to speak. Next, example answers. Now, if you can read and listen to examples of IELTS speaking answers from common IELTS topics, this will inspire you a little bit. This will help you generate ideas when speaking, even about the topics you're not so comfortable with or even sure about. And the third point that helps with idea generation is to actually practice common questions. You know, once you've thought and listened to some of these IELTS answers and got yourself some ideas, you know, familiarize yourself with common questions and then practice developing your quick responses. This is critical. You know, learn something, implement it, practice it. This is so critical. Now, the final area I want to talk about today is trying to overcome this common belief sometimes that your English level just isn't good enough. Now, it's easy to feel that your English level isn't good enough for a high score, but that's just a mental barrier. Now, here's a couple of ideas how you can overcome this. Basically, it's about developing a growth mindset. And by this, I mean, this is a mindset that helps you view challenges as opportunities to improve rather than as reflections of your abilities. Hopefully this makes sense to you, yeah. So it's trying to look at your challenges as opportunities to improve instead of them being negative reflections of your own abilities. So first thing is to embrace mistakes. Look, understand that making mistakes is part of the learning process. Each mistake is a chance for you to learn and grow. It's as simple as that. Next, you should be focusing on improvement. Concentrate on your progress rather than perfection. Yeah? I mean, celebrate your small improvements and your small milestones. This is really important. Acknowledge what you're doing well instead of focusing on what you maybe think you should be doing better on. And final point is to believe in yourself. Remember the IELTS speaking test, it assesses your ability to communicate effectively. It's not looking for perfection. None of us are able to reach perfection. Confidence, though, can make a significant difference. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me today on the IELTS Speaking Fix. Remember, transforming from nervous to fearless in your IELTS speaking test is possible with the right mindset and strategies. Practice regularly, stay positive, and believe in your ability to succeed. In the next episode, we will be looking at some unique and easy fluency hacks for immediate results. And these will really unlock your speaking potential. So please join us again next time. So until next time, keep striving for your dreams. One more thing before I go, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and share it with fellow IELTS students. Good luck with your preparation and see you in the next episode. If you're preparing for the IELTS speaking test, I invite you to check out my free online course, The Easy Way to Answer Any IELTS Speaking Part 1 Questions Without Struggle. This easy to follow step-by-step breakthrough course equips you with everything you need to start your speaking test confidently and fluently. The best part, you'll start seeing progress in as little as 30 minutes per day. Take the first step to your IELTS speaking success and download this free course today using the link in the episode description.